Let's talk about that weight gain.
Oh, let's.
I mean,
or the little pooch.
seriously.
Can we talk about the pooch?
I don't know what to think
The
about
baby
at all.
pooch that never
The
goes
baby
away.
pooch.
It never
Right.
goes away,
Yes.
right? And people will always say, I promise, Dr. Loftus, I have not changed anything, right? Because I think they think I'm going to be like, of course you're eating more, and I always tell people, you haven't changed anything, but your body has. Like your body has, and as your hormones change, so does your body. Things get redistributed places that you're like, oh, I didn't know that was supposed to now it's like
right.
but also your metabolism slows down. So the things that I always say, you're doing the same thing. You're eating the same, you're exercising the same, you've changed nothing, but your body has really just slowed down. So it's not burning the same. Your kind of baseline basal metabolic rate, what you do on a day-to-day basis, is not as high. And so if you're doing the same thing, you're gonna actually start gaining. Which stinks.
Yeah, right.
Then you've got to change what you're doing.
Yes, and it can be very gradual and very subtle, or it can be like you go through, you hit menopause and boom, like, 10 pounds later, you're saying, where did this all come from?
Right.
And unfortunately, it is, while a lot of it is that change in hormones, it still comes down to calories, in and out. And so they found pretty consistently that, logging your foods, while you don't want to restrict yourself to the point of starvation, writing down what you're eating makes a really big difference. And I started doing that myself, and I was like, oh, I did not realize how much I am actually consuming in a day.
It is, and that's exactly what I tell people, because they always say, can you put me on hormones? And it's like, well, not for that. I mean, we can talk about hormones for other things, but you're not going to magically drop weight, because it doesn't work like that. Even though your body's changing, it still comes down to what your activity is, what you're putting in your mouth.
Well, and our metabolisms are different from men. So, some of the diet fads that work really well for men, I mean, I think everybody here has known a guy that decided to take one thing out of his diet and he lost 20 pounds in a week, right? And we're all like, I take out everything and I gain 5 pounds, right? So, I mean, men, just their metabolisms are different. So I think, you can cut yourself some slack, but I think just that counting the calories and making them count, making them really good, solid calories instead of the snacks.
When I think in looking at things that how we fuel our bodies is a big thing, I always ask people, like, how much protein are you taking in? Oh, I don't know, and that's another thing where people really just don't look at kind of how much protein they're taking in. You need some fats, you need some carbs. I mean, you need those things to fuel yourself. So but really kind of looking at what food choices you are doing, what things are actually going to make you feel full longer. So my Starbucks whatever latte thing that I was grabbing in the morning, and then whatever carb breakfast, and then an hour later I'm like, okay, I'm starving, and so now I'm gonna eat this, and now I'm gonna eat this, versus let me maybe change things just so I feel full and a little more mindful about what I'm doing.